The first shot in this scene is a wide-angle shot that zooms in on Forrest. The empty rocking chair next to Forrest is significant because Forrest is lonely after his mom dies and Jenny left him. The closed blinds add to this lonely effect by bringing darkness to the room. The next shot is a close-up of Forrest's shoes, which must be significant in this next scene. The camera slowly moves up to Forrest's head and he puts on his hat. This symbolizes Forrest's mode of reflection of what has gone on in his life. Notice how the music starts right after Forrest puts on his hat. When Forrest stands up, his rocking chair is empty. This is a recurring theme. Forrest begins running down the road, and then eventually across town, then across the state. This is also analogous to the civil rights movements during the time period Forrest was living in. The movements started off as small grassroots movements that turned into national movements.
That day, for no particular reason, I decided to go for a little run. So I ran to the end of the road, and when I got there, I thought maybe I'd run to the end of town.
President Carter, suffering from heat exhaustion, fell into the arms
and when I got there, I thought maybe I'd just run across Greenbow County. And I figured since I run this far, maybe I'd just run across the great state of Alabama. And that's what I did. I ran clear across Alabama.
This close-up of Forrest's blank stare reflects his pensivity and his thoughtfulness during his run.
For no particular reason, I just kept on going. I ran clear to the ocean.
There is also the idea that the run that Forrest is going on is symbolizing history in general. The film tells the story of Forrest Gump, but also tells the story of history from Elvis in the 1950s to the civil rights protest to the Vietnam War, and to when Forrest had his own son who will continue Forrest's history.
And when I got there, I figured since I'd gone this far, I might as well turn around, just keep on going. When I got to another ocean, I figured since I'd gone this far, I might as well just turn back, keep right on going. When I got tired, I slept. When I got hungry, I ate. When I had to go, I went.
And so you just ran.
Yeah.
Then there's a close-up of the shadow in front of him to show how Forrest is reflecting on his own life, on his own shadow. The director utilizes these beautiful scenic shots to continue to show the personal thoughts of Forrest. The shots also look towards Forrest's future and where he wants to go with his life. The person he was thinking about was Jenny, so that is what I believe he is trying to run toward.
I'd think a lot about Mama and Bubba and Lieutenant Dane. But most of all, I thought about Jenny. I thought about her a lot.
During his long run, Forrest starts to gain attention, and he is seen on the news. Unlike the movements, Forrest did not have an answer for why he was running. It was just like his life. Some things just happened.
For more than 2 years now, a man named Forrest Gump, a gardener from Greenbow, Alabama, stopping only to sleep, has been running across America. Charles Cooper brings his history.
For the fourth time on his journey across America, Forrest Gump, the gardener from Greenbow, Alabama, is about to cross the Mississippi River again today.
I'll be damned.
Sir, where are you running?
Why are you running? Are you doing this for world peace?
Are you doing this for the homeless?
Are you running for women's rights?
Or for the environment?
Or for animals?
They just couldn't believe that somebody would do all that running for no particular reason.
Why are you doing this?
I just felt like running. I just felt like running.
A man jogging comes up to Forrest and wants to run with him. He is seen with his head below Forrest, with a high angle shot to signify that the man is looking up.
I can't believe it's really you.
No. For some reason, what I was doing seemed to make sense to people.
I mean, it was like an alarm went off in my head, you know? I said, here's a guy that's got his act together. Here's somebody who's got it all figured out. Here's somebody who has the answers. I'll follow you anywhere, Mr. Gump.
So, I got company. And after that, I got more company. And then, even more people joined in. Somebody later told me it gave people hope. Nah, I don't know anything about that, but some of those people asked me if I could help them out. Another time, I was running along. Somebody who had lost all his money in the T-shirt business. And he wanted to put my face on a T-shirt, but he couldn't draw that well. And he didn't have a camera.
Here, use this one. Nobody likes that color anyway.
Have a nice day. Well, some years later, I found out that man did come up with an idea for a T-shirt. He made a lot of money off of it.
Forrest takes people's life situation and turns them from the worst they could be to the tops. This is a microcosm to the macrocosm of Forrest turning around Ginny's life.
Anyway, like I was saying, I had a lot of company. My mom always said, you got to put the past behind you before you can move on. And I think that's what my running was all about. I had run for 3 years, 2 months, 14 days, and 16 hours.
Forrest finally figures out that he was running to think about his past and to put it aside in order to have a future. This part shows Forrest's face as clear, and the crowd behind him is out of focus. Forrest's followers will now have to find their own way, just like Forrest did.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.
Now what are we supposed to do?
And just like that, my running days was over. So I went home to Alabama.